recording. Hello, Erin.
Hello, how are you?
We're here today with Erin Armstrong, author of her first novel, The Twisted Truth. Hello, Erin. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me. How are you?
Good. So let's speak a little louder because the audio is really not picking up because there's a lot of like the birds in the background and stuff.
Okay.
So we'll just speak a little louder.
All right.
All right. So let's start over. We're here today with Erin Armstrong, author of her first novel, The Twisted Truth. Hello, Erin. Thanks for your time.
Hi, thank you. How are you?
Erin is a wife, mother of two, works full time, and now officially a published author. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's exciting.
So, what inspired you to write your first book?
I've always wanted to write. I've been writing since I was a young girl, and I think years worth of trying to come up with a great book and finally having a solid, good idea really drove me to want to push to have this particular book published, and I'm very happy that I was able to get there.
How do you come up with the title, The Twisted Truth?
I think with the book, there are so many things that are happening, so many revelations that are coming out that it was very fitting to have something about, you know, um, a twisted plot and, the twisted and then the truth of it all coming together, and it just made for a wonderful title.
Is there a message or messages in your novel you want your readers to grasp?
I just think that they should look at all of the situations that unfolded in the book as very real, and I think that they should just be able to look at it and understand the severity, the seriousness of all of the different things that happened in my book.
What would you say is realistic in your book?
I think a lot of the topics that were tackled, such as the rape of the young girl, that was very realistic. I also incorporated into the book a lot of my hometown or hometown areas, and I think that a lot of people will look at that and they will appreciate it for the realness of it all.
Are the experiences in your book based on someone you know or events in your own life?
No, no. I mean, even though they're very real, they don't actually. It's not my personal life or anyone that I know. I know that I did put in there a couple of real life situations, such as the hospital visit, where my main character is in the hospital and the mother comes in and the curtains are drawn and she comes in and she says, Michelle, open up these windows. It's just so dark in here. And with that, my mother did the same thing when I had my son. She came in and I'm kind of a vampire, so I enjoy the dark. So my mother came in and she's like, oh, Erin, you just had a baby. It's too dark in here. She goes in and she opens the window and had a huge argument with my nurse. But other than that, that's about the only real life events in the book that I would say mirror my own life.
Who is your favorite author and what really strikes you about their work?
My favorite author would be Rochelle Ellers. She's actually a very good romance writer. She is able to make a book very clean, even though it has a lot of, romance and sex involved in it. It's still very tasteful. She does it very well. She writes very well. Her writing style is very, very good. So I would have to say right now she's one of my favorite authors.
Would you consider the author to be a mentor? Or?
Not a mentor, but someone that I actually looked at and kind of mirrored the writing style to keep something clean, but also give the reader a little bit of that romance and sex that everyone's, loves so much.
Are there any new authors that have grasped your attention?
I will say E.L. James, she did grasp my attention. I did very much enjoy her books, so I would say that she would be the newest author right now.
Any current or future projects you're working on?
I am working on my second book. It is a sequel to my first. It will be called Dead Weight. I'm just in the beginning stages of it, but it will come out, hopefully sometime early next year.
Outside of the family, is there anyone you feel supported you?
A lot of my coworkers at work, I do work full time. They were always, in my corner rooting for me, saying how excited they were about the projects. And I had a great friend named Laura who did help me with my ideas, who did, try to help me when I was experiencing some writer's block. So I would say that they were, really, really great with helping me out with those sorts of things.
Do you see writing as a career?
I want it to be. I hope that it is. It's very early on in my career, so right now I'm trying to get to that, to that level where I can say that I am an author and it is what I do full time.
If you had to do it over again, what would you change in your book?
I wouldn't change anything. I think that everything that happened in the book happened for a reason. Everything that I wrote, it was for a purpose, and I think it worked very well, and I wouldn't change a thing.
How did your interest in writing begin?
Like I said, when I was a young girl, I had a really active imagination. I spent most of my time, kind of just fantasizing about different types of things, and I started to write, short stories. And then as I got older, the stories got a little bit longer. And I really enjoy writing. It's something that I truly like to do because I do have an active imagination. And so it's good just to be able to have something where I can my use my imagination, put it to good use.
What were the challenges in bringing it to life?
A lot of the challenges, of course, would be writer's block, which a lot of authors probably can say they have this issue, and also being able to be consistent, to be able to keep everything, from point A to point B. Everything has to kind of match, and it's hard to do when you may not, because a lot of people don't use outlines. I don't use outlines particularly, so it's hard to remember from the beginning to the middle what I had written earlier. So I have to continue to go back to remember what I did, remember what I said, how the person looks. So I would say that was the most difficult part of writing this book.
Have you traveled much concerning your book?
I have not. I'm looking forward to it. Right now, I'm just staying pretty local, trying to get people in my hometown, in my area, to support the work. And then once I can do that, then I'll be able to branch out and to do book signings, hopefully in other states, and to venture out and just to explore the United States, and hopefully be able to get my book out to everyone.
What was the hardest part about writing this book?
It was very much the details of the very serious situations, being the rape. That was really hard, because I wanted it to be a very serious moment, something that really captured the reader's attention. But I also didn't want it to be overly to be too deep. So I that was really hard to be able to keep it serious yet not too much. So I would say that was the hardest part of writing this book.
Okay, being that you are a wife, mother of two children, full-time employee, how do you balance family, work life, and writing all at the same time?
Most of my writing took place on my lunch break, or after 9 o'clock when the kids are in bed, or on the weekends. And it's always great to have a spouse to be able to take care of the children while I'm trying to get, things done. And so really that's how I was able to balance it. And also my children, they kind of can keep themselves busy. So thankfully I can sit at my kitchen table or on my chair or my room and just kind of type away, at least get an hour's worth of writing in. So I would say that's pretty much how I got that done.
What do you learn from writing this book?
I learned that writing a book is not easy. I think that a lot of people think that you can just put stuff down and it'll just kind of come to life on its own, but that is not the case. It is not an easy thing. It takes time, it takes dedication, and it takes a whole lot of patience. Um, so I think, and also just keep going.
Do you have any advice for other aspiring writers?
Just to keep writing, even if you get writer's block, try to write down something, because it's easy to stop what you're doing. It's easy to kind of put it down and to not pick it back up because you don't know what to write. And it's best just to write. Even if you don't know exactly what to say, write something. You can always go back and change it later. But if you put it down, the chances of you picking it back up is very slim.
Okay, now turning your attention to the camera, do you have anything specific you want to say to your readers?
I wanted to take the time first to thank you for picking up my book, for giving me a chance when there are so many other books that you could be picking up. And I'm so grateful that you did choose my book, and I do hope that you enjoy it. Um, it's been a journey, and I'm so grateful that you're able to share it with me now by taking the time to read it. So thank you. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me, and I hope that you will pick up my next book. Thank you.
Well, Erin Armstrong, author of The Twisted Truth, this concludes our interview. Thank you for your time and good luck on your sequel.
Thank you.